got you audio for recommendals, got you music in the folder, did all that stuff.
Shit, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of a thing I don't have.
A recommendal?
I have a recommendal. I just forgot to clip it.
Oh, good. Gosh, I wonder what it would be that you've been watching, that you've been binging lately. That we've talked about.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, you're not.
That's too old. It's cool. I mean, I would. It's good, but I saw another thing that I think is better.
Oh, good. Okay.
Not better, but just different enough, and the thing I missed last year. So we're gonna.
Yeah. Good.
All right, I'll just keep it as a link for now. All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
Recording is going, and it's time, and it begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, put on the gloves, honey. Gonna be a long night.
Beware the cane toads.
Shaq likes to eat.
Then I will have to put up the naked mannequins.
That's good delivery. What do we do in the shadows?
Tom's Tech Time.
Recommendals and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
It absorbs, deodorizes, and leaves a clean, fresh scent.
Mrs. Dash instead of salt.
This is The Morning Stream. All your bays are belong to us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TMS. This is The Morning Stream for Wednesday, March 27th, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson. There be Brian Ibbett.
All of this is true. All of this has been done before. It shall be done again. It is written.
It is written. You know, I've never known, it's just hit me. I don't know why this just hit me. Maybe I've talked about this before. I know no other Ibbets. You're the only Ibbet I know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know multiple Johnsons. You probably know lots of names, but I can't think of another Ibbet in the world than you.
We exist, Scott, but yeah, I mean, it's not a super common name, obviously, but it's one where we feel like if we do see another Ibbet in the world, it's a really good chance we're related, you know.
Yeah, you're almost guaranteed they're gonna have some kind of connection, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
that's kind of cool, actually.
Unique.
Johnson's boring as hell. Johnson.
No, I wouldn't say it's boring.
Do you know how many John's sons there are out there? There's a billion of us.
Well, sure.
Ninja Steve says, I only know one Johnson. Right. But it's these British derivative names, like Sam Jane in the chat just mentioned Maxton, which is her maiden name. That's also a name I've never heard except from her. And she is also a British lineage. So I think there's just a British name deficiency. At least here in the States, I just don't hear a lot of British names. Like what else you got? You got the Maxtons, the Ibbets,
Yeah, I mean it's such an easy thing to go to look for multiple syllable names that end with ton.
Mm-hmm.
Darlington, Frankington, Billington, Billingsley.
Oh, that's a good name. I would have I would trade Scott Billingsley. Welcome to the Morning Stream. I'm your host, Scott Billingsley. Yeah.
So here we go. John Florida, 1968. I don't know where he found this, but the ancestors of the Ibbet family first reached the shores of England in the wave of migration after the Norman conquest of 1066. Their name is derived from the Norman personal name Hildebert, which is composed of the Germanic elements Hild, which meant battle or strife, and Bert, which meant bright or famous. One of the first records of the name was Higbert, the Anglo-Saxon bishop of Lichfield.
Hildebert.
Brian Hildebertson.
Ask. Yeah, Leo knew. He knew that you were Ibbetson or had a son.
Leo knew what's up.
Mm-hmm. We have to play that. Hold on.
Brian Ibbetson.
Brian Ibbetson. Still one of the funniest things ever.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hey, time for show? Show for time. Let's do this.
Time for the show.
I had a first in my life last night.
Okay.
First time ever. I punched my wife. Now, everyone calm down for a second. I have to explain how it happened.
Yes, you do. Please to explain.
Yeah, this needs some context. So, I'm typically a pretty active dreamer. I dream a lot at night, and often I remember this stuff, and it's all psycho and makes no sense. And lately,
Scott, you're such a dreamer. You're a dreamer.
lately they're all kind of weird and not good, like creepy and stuff I don't like in these dreams. And here's the dream, very vivid. Having it in the middle of the night. It's probably, well, I looked at the clock after, so it's like 2:30 in the morning.
Okay, all right.
And there's in the dream, I'm being held without my consent. What's the word I'm trying to say? Held without
Restrained?
held,
like kidnapped or
held against my will. There we go.
against? Okay, all right.
I'm being held against my will in the basement of some house. I don't know whose it is or what it is. None of the people in the stream are people I know.
Were you told to put the lotion on? Were you told to put the lotion on its skin?
I did. There I was.
The hose again?
Yeah, or it gets the hose again. So I just got the hose again, which sucked. But anyway, no, I'm in this basement and I'm in this house, and there's only one way out of it, and it's one of those like horror movie narrow basement doors that suck. And and the only way to get out of there is that. And every time I tried to get out, there would be these, I guess they're people, but they felt creaturey, but also they were people that would stop me from getting out.
Okay.
And by creaturey, I mean, like, I don't know, they didn't have faces they felt unhuman, but they were humanoid. Let's say that.
Really? Okay. Freaky.
So I and Jeannie's actually onto something. I'll get to that in a minute. But
yeah,
I get up to the door, and I would try to go through it, and then they would just fight me tooth and nail. And there was one creature, human thing there that would put up boards, like immediately just put boards up. So then it was like, oh my gosh, I can't get through these boards. And then for some reason I would get pushed back and fall back down, and it was like, all right, I got to try this again. And in the dream, there was something about timing where I knew when certain creatures were sleeping and others were awake, and it was going to be maybe a better run for it if the ones were asleep and the others were awake because they weren't as strong or something. I can't remember. It's all very nonsensical now, but at the time it all made sense. And it was all very stressful, very distressing kind of dream, right?
which it would be, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't like it. In fact, now I have to play that Paula Deen clip. Let's say this dream was very...
It's very distressing.
Yes, it was very distressing.
Yes.
Oh, Brian went weird. Oh, no, you're back.
Okay.
So I thought I've had it. I'm sick of this. And what felt like the 900th time, the 900th attempt to get out of this basement. And again, in my dream, it's feeling so real that it's real stress. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. It's the worst place to be. I can't be here. The final attempt, I decide I'm gonna just beat the shit out of whoever's up there. I'm just gonna punch them as hard as I can, right in the face. I'm gonna just go to it, and they're gonna regret the day they put me in here. Is how I was thinking in this dream.
Oh crap! Yeah. All right.
Next thing I know, or I start swinging at the face of this thing at the top of the stairs, and next thing I know, it's my bedroom, and Kim has got my arm trapped to her neck and chest like this. She's holding it because apparently I started swinging at her. So I started punching at her, and I did it multiple times. I was like, brah, brah. It's my left arm, too, which sucks. I was laying on my right.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I know. So I was like, pounding her, and so she well, it woke her up, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, that would. Yeah.
Yeah. And she
That would tend to wake somebody up.
She instinctively, her reaction was her arms clamped, and she went, bah, and held me in place.
Good. Smart.
Now,
yes.
I was still so out of it that I thought, well, that's a weird part of this dream. And I rolled over and went back to sleep. In the morning...
Wait, so you didn't even wake up at that point?
No, I thought that was part of the dream. I saw the bedroom and Kim holding my arm and this all being stopped, but I thought that was somehow part of the dream because I was still kind of halfway in and out, right? So I roll over, I go back to sleep. This morning, Kim goes, so yeah. She goes,
oh, how was your night?
She goes, you totally hit me last night. I go, what? She goes, yeah. And I go, that part was real? I really didn't know it was real. And I didn't hurt. She says, you didn't hurt me. It was just more like flailing. But, I was hit. I was, smacking her. And she says, you've never done that. Our whole marriage, you've never done that once. And
wow.
So now I've had a new thing. I've had dreams where I've thought I was falling, and then you wake up jerking or whatever.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's common, and this is probably just like that. But yeah, I got to be careful. I feel bad, for taking a swing at her like that. I mean, it didn't hurt her, and had it hurt her, she would have probably woken me up, and we would have dealt with it. But it was this morning. She was looking at me like, "Yeah, you just hit me last night." I'm like, "What? Really?"
Wait, there's so much content here for Jamie. By the way, you said at one point I woke up pounding her.
Yeah.
Another one where it's like I woke up jerking. So there's a lot of material here for Jamie to use.
Great. I'm glad. If there's one thing I'm glad about, it's that I can bring new material to Jamie. That's what
Yes. Now, Telly Zarel says hypnopompic sleep paralysis is when you're waking up, your body still has part of your body inhibited, so you don't act out your dreams. People describe it as feeling like there's an evil presence, often a weight on your chest, and you can overcome it with focused effort to move. This is where the myth of the incubus came from.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this before. I've never experienced that, but I've heard of it. I want to say one of my daughters, when they were little, had a dream like that, and they couldn't move.
Yeah, right, where they were just felt like they were pinned.
Yeah, which is a really weird thing to experience. I can't imagine what that feels like.
For sure.
Don't like it. No, sir, I don't. I guess I'm gladder. I'm gladder. I'm more glad that I can throw a punch in the middle of the night than not move.
Right. I guess there's some solace you can take in the fact that, well, I guess I'm a fighter. All right.
Yeah.
Nice to know that. And this is why people have sleep in separate beds. Why the Ricardos slept in separate beds. Why the Flintstones slept in separate beds. Why Bert and Ernie slept in separate beds.
Exactly.
Because of the
wait, weren't they in the same? They were in the same bed for a while, weren't they? Bert and Ernie, and that was
near the end. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was
not near the end. Sesame Street's still on, but near the end of their relationship. Or maybe that was it. Maybe it was that they started out in one bed and now they're in separate beds. Yeah. Maybe that's the deal.
It's such a weird thing. Rob and Laura too. They were in separate beds. There's a whole era of like the early 50s right up through the mid 60s where all the couples on TV slept in separate beds. It's weird.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm sure there's good trivia as far as who the first couple to be shown
in the same bed. Let's find that out.
Same bed. Yeah.
First TV couple in same bed.
Probably
got to be.
It's got to be earlier than Bob Newhart and Marriott Hartley, right?
Our friends at
the
Snopes.
Brady's?
Let's see. The claim, the early Okay, here's the first one. Early TV sitcom Mary Kay and Johnny. Never heard of it.
Yeah, okay.
First television series to portray married couple who slept in the same bed. According to this is true. Let's see. When was the year on this? Mary Kay and Johnny.
Mary Kay.
Oh my gosh. It was performed live, became television's first sitcom, eventually running on for 3 years on 3 different networks: the Dumont, which doesn't exist anymore, NBC, and CBS. So let's see. They don't get right to the date here, which is really annoying. Yeah, it doesn't show it. Okay, but it does say. Single bed. Brady Bunch, the series about a toilet, or without a toilet, is often named.
It's about a toilet.
but then, let's see. Others point out that Herman and Lily shared a bed in The Munsters from 64 to 66. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a thing.
Crazy that Frankenstein is getting to share a bed with one of the first ones to share a bed. Oh, the Flintstones, is that another one?
Yeah, Flintstones, Ozzie and Harriet.
The Brady Bunch, 9 people, no toilet.
They never did show a toilet in that entire series. I mean, I guess that's whatever, but
yeah.
I can't find the dates for this show.
Greg, I'm pooping here. Get out.
Greg, I'm pooping. Anyway. Well, now we've learned something. This is good. I like this. I like when we learn something.
I do too.
Anyway, so that was fun, and my wife's fine. Everyone's fine. No one got hurt, and I'm going to try not to never do that again.
As long as you don't leave a mark, it's all right.
Yeah.
Scott.
Now,
that's the rule.
Here's where I think I screwed up. I worked out twice yesterday, did a 2-a-day, which meant I was very hungry, and I was trying really hard not to eat too much or fall off the wagon, but I jogged 2 different times, 30 minutes each. An hour of it, that's enough to make me kind of high on the old burning the calories mode.
Sure.
So at about 9 o'clock, I got a wild craving for it's not down here anymore. Oh, yeah, it is. A wild craving.
Maple bacon donut cereal.
Maple donuts. Brian thinks he was kidding, but nope. I got a big bowl of this, and I ate it at 9 p.m. Oh. And I think that's what did it. You probably
stayed up for another 2 hours, though, didn't you?
I did. I stayed up till like 11, but I still think this probably had, just sugar, combination of sugar and milk and lactose and everything. Probably just kept me in dream mode all night. So, thanks, cereal. I'm never doing that again.
I had my first, took my first ride of the season, my first bike ride of the season yesterday. It was finally nice enough. It was like 60-some degrees. I'd gone out once before, but it was like in early March or late February when we were having a little bit of warm weather, and it was like, high 50s, low 60s, no, high 50s, and I had like the sleeves and the leggings on and stuff. But this was like bike shirt, bike shorts out there, and I did a much longer ride than I usually do for the first ride of the season, which is great. I was like, I'm keeping going.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. How many miles did you do? Do you know?
I did about 5 miles.
5. That's pretty good to start.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But part of that is a really big hill. Like basically if I go west, I go a couple miles, and then there's a big hill with little switchbacks, and it's a challenging ride right away. If I go the other direction, if I go east, then it's a nice slope down on the way out, and then a little slope up on the way back, and it's
that's great though.
Yeah,
that you did
totally.
That. Well done.
JK Grammar, no nutter butter. Did not use the. This was if I'm doing more than 15 miles, then I'll do a slathering of the goo. But
I forgot about that stuff. Yeah, I
still did go commando. And Hobbs Dog asks, "Hey Coverville, what do you use to track your mileage/distance? Fitbit linked to phone. I use an app on my phone called Map My Ride, which actually even shares my ride on Facebook so people can see it. And I can
it's
say,
the same.
Look what I did today, everybody.
It's the same chuckleheads who do the Map My Run one. They have a run one as well.
It is, yeah, like that, and it's made by Under Armour now. It got snatched up by Under Armour.
Ah, sweet. I have their hat. Not with me though.
You do. I see that.
Yeah, the hat that fits me. Finally, a hat that fits my big dumb head. Well, that's great. I foresee a spring full of beautiful days where Brian can go out and uphill that shit.
Yeah.
I feel sweary today. I'm going to drop the S-bomb a lot today. I can just
you've already dropped 3 or 4 of them. It's almost like you're playing a video game, Scott.
I know. I don't know why. I'm just in that mood and sleep at all. Really not well anyway. And so I'm here to bringing it to you, everybody. All right, let's play a little game. Little game. Just realized. Oh yeah, it's Randy today, right? Because
it is Randy today. We have no Brian Dunaway today. He is in the process of moving his house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad news. That means he didn't get the place they wanted. Oh, look who it is. Hold on. Welcome to Battle Royale, everybody, with our pinch hitter, Randy Deluxe. Hello, Randy. Welcome.
I, like you, am in the in-between time, the time between Captain Marvel and Shazam, and it's kind of nice and relaxing. But we gotta hurry up, man. It's been 20 years since The Matrix came out. Can you believe that?
I don't like to think of such things.
Are you channeling Brian Dunaway or something? It seems very like a lot of non sequiturs.
I like it. I like it though. Don't go changing. This is good.
Yeah, speaking of my coffee, it's real strong.
Caffeinated.
Now it all makes sense.
Caffeinated. All right. Well, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. We should probably take a call, and I'm slow to bring up the unit.
Let's do that. Let's take a call.
It is good to have me.
Yeah, it is good to have you. That's what Sam Jane says. Get it, Sam Jane? She's in the chat. Get it?
I get it. Yes, okay, I get it.
All
right. By the way, I do like the fact that, I'm amazed by the fact that it's 20 years since The Matrix. Holy cow.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about it. It's not
20
cool.
years ago this week.
Yeah.
And I remember I not only remember the theater and exactly which theater in the complex, because I lived across the street from it. I remember not only that, but I remember the whole day leading up to it, because the movie impressed me so much that it set a lot of like those memories around it. Like I went to a restaurant in the Arboretum in Austin after The Matrix. The restaurant's called North by Northwest. Yes, it's called North by Northwest because it's in Northwest Austin.
Sure.
And it's like just a lot of things like that, you know.
A couple people in the chat never seen The Matrix. How is that even possible? How have people not seen it?
Tina and I saw it in a theater in New Haven, Connecticut, because that's where my dad was living at the time, and we actually flew in with either we got on an earlier flight than we planned, or we just knew that we were going to get in on a flight that was earlier than when they were going to get home from work. And so we're like, well, let's kill some time. We shoved the luggage in the trunk of the rental car and went and saw The Matrix.
That's awesome. I think it just went to some Friday night opening. I think some boring. I have no good story except I loved The Matrix. It was great. Yeah, still the best movie of the three, and the other two can die. All right, hey, we have a caller on the line here to play Battle Royale with us. Hi, who's this? Hello. Oh, they've been here for 1:09.
It's me, Randy. So
they're muted. I don't know why they're muted.
Oh, unmute.
Well, we'll take another one then. I know it's working this time because it's the right setup.
The mute's working.
All right, we'll take another call. Let's try this one. This one might be it. Hi, good morning. Who's this? Oh, my Lord. Hold on. Let's try this one. Hi, who's this? Hello, who's this?
Hello.
Hi, it's the Tanuki Monster.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, Tanuki Monster.
Not much. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Thanks for for making the attempt and entering the fray. We're happy to have you on today, and Brian Ibbott will explain how it works and what you could win.
That's right, Tanuki Monster.
Right.
I'm going to give Scott and Brian Dunaway, Randy Jordan a topic, and they're going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win is going to go to the other player. Your job is to predict who is going to come out on top based on the topic today. You are playing for a massive prize package that is carried over from two missed Battle Royales. You are getting the Steam games Sproggywood, Hot Tin Roof, the cat that wore a fedora deluxe, and Girls Like Robots, plus a physical pile of prizes and products from Scott, plus a pair of albums from Mike DeCleva, who is an indie in the middle artist that we played a couple weeks ago. And I'm adding today, since I'm sending CDs anyway, a pair of CDs from Hayseed Dixie, the backwoods AC/DC cover band, including their AC/DC cover album, Hayseed Dixie, Hillbilly Tribute to AC/DC, and their follow-up, A Hillbilly Tribute to Mountain Love.
Wow.
So back, I in the summer of 2010, I collected all of these hillbilly covers albums. Do you remember this? There was a little craze just for a little while.
Well, you're not talking about
it was called
the bluegrass cover, like the Vitamins, or not Vitamins.
It was called Pickin' On.
Yeah,
the Pickin' On series.
Yeah, we play those guys all the time.
Oh man, I still have all the MP3s that I ripped from all those discs. I
they're
got them in like the library or something.
Yeah.
And that's either going to be the band Cornbread Red or the band Iron Horse. And unfortunately, they just had to go as the name Pickin' On series.
Yeah.
But all those great Pickin' On series albums were one of those two great bluegrass bands.
My favorite are Modest Mouse and one for who's the
Shins?
The Shins. Oh, that Shins album is so good. That's the Pickin' On album. It's so good.
Yeah.
I almost like it better than actual Shins.
Thanks to Brian Ibbott, I have a folder in my music collection, and my music collection is vast, and there's all these different categories like Hawaiian, heavy metal, country, classical. And I have a folder that just says covers. And then inside, for whatever reason, there's a single subfolder called Coverville. I don't know why. and then in that is like dozens and dozens of folders of covers, including all these Pickin' On albums. It's like Pickin' On Def Leppard, I think, is my favorite.
That one's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one too. Do you have subfolders in the Coverville folder of like Hawaiian, heavy metal, rap?
I should. It's just like Inception. It keeps going. That top is spinning and spinning.
Nice.
Exactly.
All right.
So that's what you're playing for. The topic today It's funny. I went yesterday with Tina to a happy hour function for her work, and pretty much everybody was sitting there talking about work and stuff, and I was bored out of my mind. But I was struck up a conversation with one of her coworkers, a guy named Dale, and we were talking about how there's always some sport going on, some major league sport, right? And currently, at the bar we were sitting at, we were able to watch Major League Baseball, which had just started. We were able to watch NHL hockey, and we were able to watch basketball. And we got to talking like, all right, well, how many cities have all 4 major league teams represented? So a major league football team, major league baseball team, major league hockey team, and a major league basketball team. There are only 13. Did you know that? There's only 13 cities, and by cities I'm going to say municipal or metropolitan statistical areas. So
am I allowed to write? Can I like start scribbling my thoughts
Yeah,
as
of course.
you're talking?
Of course.
of course,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because like I have to. This is going to take some notation for me to get it right.
You're just not allowed to look on the internet. That's the only thing you can't do.
right.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you can't do. So that's your topic. I want to know the cities or metropolitan areas, and I want to be very clear about that before people say, "Well, wait a minute, because that's blah blah blah."
Right.
But metropolitan areas is the key term there that have all 4 teams represented. Tanuki Monster, knowing that that's the topic, and knowing that Randy has pen in hand already, who do you expect to win this one, and who do you want to go first?
Oh man, this is tough. I think I'm gonna go with Randy to win and Scott to start.
Okay. I can do. I'm going to start with New York City. Should be the easy one.
New York City.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can
yeah.
I try to
Good
name? Well, I shouldn't.
representation.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, you know what? Go for it if you want to. There's no bonus points, but
Giants and Jets, Yankees and Mets, Nets and Knicks,
very good.
and NHL team I forgot. Or Rangers. And Islanders.
The Rangers
Islanders.
and the Islanders and the New Jersey Devils also
Oh
play.
wow!
in that
So we're accepting that big an area. Okay.
metropolitan statistical area,
Yeah.
Randy.
Okay.
The MSA.
All right.
Very good.
'Cause-
New York City, good
Because
one.
New York State doesn't have an NFL team in New York City.
Right, because everybody plays in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, they have the Buffalo Bills. That's technically
Right,
in New
that's
York
true.
Right.
State.
That's
but-
why I said in New York City
Yeah,
there
not
is
in
not
the
a
city.
New York State NFL team.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Randy, your turn.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to force us to go across the country like in a sort of pattern. So I'm gonna go with the greater Boston area.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
I know that like the Patriots play in Foxborough.
They do.
So
They probably
you know, there's also the Celtics and the Bruins and a horrible baseball team.
The Red Sox. Yeah. Well done. We'll accept horrible baseball team. Yep. Exactly. Boston, Massachusetts. They've had 4 leagues, by the way, since 1960. New York City has had 4 leagues since 1946.
Let's go.
Oh wow! I didn't think about it in terms of how long.
Yeah.
Let's.
I have that info, so it's information that I can provide.
Let's swing over to the other side of the country. Let's go with San Francisco Bay Area. I would think
Yeah.
How you would say it.
The San Francisco Bay Area is a very good representation.
And they still have the Raiders for now, I guess, until when
That's
does
right.
when does Vegas get the Raiders? It's soon.
2020.
Oh, okay, yeah, sooner than you'd think. And I can't remember any of the rest of them, but don't they
No
have?
problem.
Yeah.
They also have the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the Oakland Athletics, the San Francisco Giants for baseball, the Golden State Warriors, and the San Jose Sharks.
Oh, the
are
Sharks.
there.
Right.
The Sharks.
I forget that's part of San Jose is part of that greater San Francisco Bay Area.
Right.
All right.
All right, Randy.
I'm determined to follow my pattern, so I'm going to go with
Okay,
Philly,
keep your pattern going.
the Philly area.
Philly, sure.
Yeah, that would be the 76ers, the Phillies, I forget the name of the NHL team, and
Flyers.
the battery tossing criminals known as the Eagles.
The Flyers. Is it the Flyers who have the weird orange monster creature Muppet thing? Is that
Yes, what is his name? The new weird mascot that looks
Chunky
like
or
a
Clicky or what is it? Grunty.
Gritty.
No, it's
Gritty.
not Gritty.
Gritty. Yeah.
Grunty.
Grunty.
I think he showed up in the Overwatch League a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a meme. He's a walking meme
I think
now.
The Philadelphia Overwatch team brought him over just to make an appearance in the crowd. That was like, what? It's like so discordant. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a really good episode of the Reply All podcast where they go deep on that character and how he's become like a meme and a symbol and a pro this and an anti that. Like, it's a big crazy thing with that damn Gritty thing. He's freaky though. That's the main thing. He's freaky.
Goes from home, calls him the Philly Sleep Puncher.
Yeah. Nice. All right, is it my turn? Yes.
It is your turn.
L.A. Los Angeles.
Good. And one you wouldn't have been able to do a few years ago. You get the Chargers, the Rams, the Angels and the Dodgers, the Clippers and the Lakers, and the Kings and the Anaheim Ducks.
I just got to say, counting the Ducks and the Angels as LA is just stupid.
Yeah, I know, because it's where Anaheim.
Yeah.
Metropolitan area makes no sense whatsoever.
But the Kings are definitely LA, so that counts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right.
I'm still trying to follow my way around it, like in a straight line. So I'm gonna go with the Baltimore, Washington D.C. area. I don't know if that's too big. Like maybe Baltimore is to Washington as Orange County is to Los Angeles. But I can name Washington teams only. So let's go with let's go with the Nationals and the Wizards. The Redskins, of course, and their NHL team is called something like the Senators or the Capitals or something.
You don't have to know.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
You don't have to know them anyway. As long as you get the city, you're good. I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, shut up.
Oh no! I was about to go there. That's crazy.
Really? No Atlanta?
Hold on, just a second. Hold on. Okay, so hold on.
Oh,
so
they don't have an NHL
Braves,
team. They don't have
the Braves, the Falcons.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they don't have an NHL team. Woo!
How does Arizona have an NHL team? And
I'm glad I didn't try to wing it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it.
Do you want to try and? I mean, you've already won, Randy. Do you have another couple?
Oh gosh, yes. I wrote down Dallas, Phoenix, Minneapolis. I was starting in some D's, like I was thinking Denver, Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Both correct.
You said 13 though.
Yes.
What in the world am I missing? Oh. I'll bet I'm missing Miami. I'll bet that's what.
You are missing Miami, and you still never said Chicago. And Chicago is a fairly easy one.
Yeah, the town with the crappy pizza. Okay.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay. Any Chicagoans want to come to TMS Vegas and meet Randy and shake his hand?
Yeah, bring me Chicago
this
style.
Chicagoan
pizza.
takes offense to that.
Ah, Tanuki Monster from Chicago. That's all right. He's gonna win all this shite that you won today. So you're
right.
You're
we
good.
just got a Giordano's here in Denver from Chicago, and that is your lasagna in a crust, basically.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's good stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think Randy, isn't your contention that there's
Weight Watchers would disagree.
I mean, Randy wouldn't. You're not saying that that's bad food. You're saying it's just not pizza.
Oh no, never. Yeah, I have this rule, which is if a food is really good somewhere and you go somewhere else and they put the word style on it, that is a perfectly reasonable thing. Like, it wouldn't exist if it was just shit. But if they say Cincinnati style chili, you're not getting chili. Yeah. So if they say Chicago style pizza, you're not getting pizza. You're getting something else.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not pizza.
Right. Hey, how come Seattle still doesn't? Does Seattle not have their NBA team anymore? They're done. They don't have.
No, they have the Supersonics still, don't they?
I think they're gone now. Aren't they defunct? I don't think they have a team in the NBA right now. Do I have that wrong?
I'm looking it up because I thought.
Yeah, I can't think of an NBA team that their NBA team left. Right?
I mean, they used to be the Supersonics.
So it was the Supersonics, and they were gone. Okay.
Yeah, because I had a friend who worked for the Supersonics, and then he doesn't work for them anymore, and I assume.
Right. Of course, the Mariners and they have the Storm, the Seattle Storm, in the WNBA.
Yeah, that's true.
But no. Oh yeah.
Man, I was gonna guess Atlanta, and I totally was lost on Chicago. Man, I was a risky pick today.
It's also weird. So, Utah, obviously, we're down to one team. We got the Jazz. That's it. We have an NBA team. But I'm looking up names of cities in the country that have one or less. There's a lot below us. I didn't know that. Like Winnipeg, San Diego, San Antonio only has the Spurs. Like, we're San Antonio, basically. We just got the one NBA team. Sacramento, Las Vegas. That's about to change, but Vegas has the Golden Knights. And
I gotta say, man, Salt Lake City has my favorite MLS soccer team, or I should say my favorite MLS soccer stadium.
The Real Salt Lake stuff is awesome here. Yeah,
they play in a neighborhood, and it's like there is zero distance between the stadium and the houses around it. It's bizarre.
It's crazy, and it looks like a giant future space station. It's just this crazy, beautiful, state-of-the-art place, and it's pretty awesome. Real Salt Lake is awesome. People love those guys.
Yeah, and we're in Denver right here, by the way, least populous metropolitan area with all four teams represented, all four major sports represented.
Well done.
Yes,
Good
and
job.
the largest population without a team is the Hartford, New Haven, Connecticut area. Speaking of New Haven, they used to have the Hartford Whalers, who moved to Raleigh and are now the Carolina Hurricanes, and there's now New Haven and Hartford have no representation in all four teams.
Yeah.
I wonder what the largest area it has 3 but not 4. I wonder if it's Atlanta, is what I'm saying.
St. Louis, largest population without all four. So I take that back. I'm sorry. Houston, because they don't have an NHL team, became the largest metropolitan area that doesn't have a franchise.
Okay, because when the Rockets left.
So weird.
The Rockets.
Yes.
The
Los
Rockets.
Angeles was until the Rams moved back to LA.
So St. Louis is what? Cardinals and Blues, and that's it? Because who else is... Because they used to be Cardinal... I mean, and that's baseball, I think. Cardinals baseball, not Cardinals football. There's no... I don't think they have a NBA team, and St. Louis no longer has a football team. Yeah, all right. And the Blues are newish. The NHL team.
I think it's crazy that Houston can't support professional hockey, because they had a team called the Houston Aeros for years and years. I went to games. I thought they were always packed and like really excited, and they couldn't keep it up. The state of Texas has the most professional hockey teams of any state in the United States, which kind of shocking, but it's just
crazy.
because every town has these like mid-tier lower league hockey teams. And then the Houston Aeros were so unsupported that they moved to Iowa. They moved to Iowa. Like, think about that.
Voluntarily?
Yeah, wow.
Right, yeah. Houston is that bad at hockey.
Hey, Iowa's all right. Iowa's got some stuff, I guess. Well, it has Steve King, so maybe it does suck. Anyway, hey, and I don't mean Stephen King, the author. Hey, well done. Tanuki Monster, you not only won, but you won handily, I believe, with Randy at the helm. Congratulations.
Congratulations. You're a winner.
All that stuff will come straight to you. All you have to do is send an email to coverville@gmail.com, and Brian will get you hooked up. My part of it I will tack on once he sends me your address, and you'll be all good in the hood. Congratulations and well done, man. It was good having you on.
That was awesome. Thanks, guys. It was a great time.
All right, we'll see you later.
Thanks to Nicky Monster.
All this sports talk. You probably loved these in Chicago and everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how long it's going to be before Las Vegas completes the 4 and adds a baseball and a basketball team.
I don't know. Well, it'll be impossible to not go down there when there's a game night, and that'll be a nightmare. Like, it'll be a nightmare.
No kidding.
What's the one-way drive for you again? How long?
5 hours for me.
All right.
10 hours for me.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's 3.5 or 7 from here. Like it's there's no in between.
That's awesome.
Ridiculous.
No. It's you guys have that crazy weird traffic back and forth that sometimes crops up and sometimes doesn't, and it makes no sense. Our thing is we never know when they're going to be doing like weird lane construction right as you enter that strange Arizona cavern zone where you get no phone service. And you never know until it happens, and you get down there and you're like, oh great, this is like 9 miles of cars. What are we doing? It's rare, but we never know. The maps doesn't tell you. Nothing tells you. It's like some secret cabal of freaking street people. Sucks. Anyway, Randy Jordan, aka Randy Deluxe, right there for you folks, being a great stand-in today. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Absolutely.
I love you guys, and I'm proud to say I didn't say anything worth putting in a mashup.
Oh yeah, except that part will get put in. Trust me, that'll happen.
That'll happen. Yes, exactly. What's our film sec movie this week?
I don't even know. What is it?
I can't remember.
Forlorn Men.
Flim flam for Micah.
Pile of people.
Purple movie. Miami Vice.
Miami Vice. So you're not far off with Purple Movie, honestly. Like, that's actually pretty close to what the Miami Vice movie is. It's a bit of a purple movie. Anyway, so that's fun, and we'll look forward to that. Yeah. In the meantime, this
is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
It's the news brought to you by
a 5 to 10 minute podcast called Every Day is a Holiday, where we talk about what holidays fall on that day and what happened on that day in history, plus birthdays of famous people. Search for Every Day is a Holiday where you get your podcasts. And I can attest, I actually listened to this. This is the guy that sent me the Nintendo Power Glove, and he told me he does some podcasts. So I'm like, oh, I got to check it out. And so I checked out both his movies podcast and Every Day is a Holiday. And it is funny because, it is like, today is National Twinkie Day, and because they've come up with something like that for every single day. But it's great. Check it out. It's a nice short podcast too. If you just want something really quick to listen to give you something to chuckle about for the day.
Yeah, a little 5 to 10 minuter, not our big 90-minute plus nightmare that we give you.
That's right.
A little short one.
Yes.
Thousands of invasive cane toads have overtaken the Florida communities.
Oh no, cane toads!
Apparently, cane toads are also highly poisonous. That's a problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, if like your dog eats one or something.
Yeah, or I don't know if they
don't have like a venomous bite.
No, but maybe don't lick them, I guess, is what I would warn the Floridians. But over the weekend, thousands of poisonous baby cane toads emerged from canals or leapt up out of retention ponds in several Palm Beach Gardens neighborhoods along the Atlantic coast of Florida. The giant knot, which is the name of the collective group of cane toads.
A knot of toads.
A knot of toads. That's crazy. Is that really the way to say that? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. Not like K-N-O-T, chat room, just in case you think we're saying N-O-T.
Yes.
Anyway, they likely settled in after a mild winter temperatures, and recently rain set the toads up for a booming breeding cycle. So they've all been in there doing it. I guess. Well, the babies are the result of that, but
yeah,
sure.
You know what that means? It's like I know when you drive in Texas when there's an armadillo quote unquote outbreak, it's like pop, 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 on the roads.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the cane toad outbreak sounds like when you're driving south on the 101.
The one that always freaks me out is that like is it South America or something like that? Oh, someone will have to tell us. But where the spiders once a year, just like huge spiders come barreling out of the forest, and people are just crunching on spiders on the highways all the time.
Yes.
That's just
I bet
awful.
it gets slippery. Wasn't that in the movie Magnolia when it rained toads because the evaporating water had brought up these small eggs, which had hatched in the sky or something like that. It hatched while they're in the air and rain toads down on everything.
That movie was so weird. That movie's weird, man.
It is. You know what? I love it. I think it's maybe one of my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson. Paul Thomas Anderson. Yeah.
It might be my favorite of his. I think that one's really good.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you.
I mean, you got your John C. Reilly. You've got your Melora Walters, who we just saw in some film sack movie that I can't remember. Butterfly Effect. She was the mom.
Oh, right. The soft-spoken weird mom. Yeah.
That's right. Tom Cruise and his weird sex.
His stage Tony
hotel,
Robbins business.
Right.
Yeah.
His Tony Robbins, the Tony Robbins of sex.
Very odd. One of the final performances by Jason Robards, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good. And strange as hell, that movie. All his movies are weird, but, whatever.
Very weird, but that's a great one. Oh, and Ricky Jay. How can I forget? I mean, one of my favorite parts of that is the Ricky Jay narration that kind of bookends the film. Oh, makes me want to go watch it.
I know. It's the only thing I'm sad about. He literally died right before production started on the Deadwood thing. I don't think he's in it at all, as far as I know.
Oh, right. That's right, because he was in the series. Oh, that is a bummer.
Yeah, he was a card dealer, I guess. It was for the competing casino that moved into town.
Right.
And he's also dead. What's his name?
Yes, and just recently he died because he did a season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as the main bad guy.
Yeah,
and
he was also on that Nashville show for a couple seasons. Powers Booth, yeah.
Powers Booth.
Yeah, he would have been good to see again, but I'm so excited about that movie. I'm dying to see it. Anyway, how about this story? Here's one for you.
Yes.
Shaquille O'Neal once ate a 4-course steak dinner at his locker before a game.
Okay.
How are you not just puking all over the the thing?
Oh,
I don't get
man.
it. That's crazy to me.
Well, if you're Shaq, I mean, that's like a 4-course steak dinner is probably to him like a quick trip over to Freddy's for fries, and a burger and fries for us.
I may have had that yesterday. It was really good. Turns out Nick works right next to a Freddy's. I think I may have a new in on him bringing me Freddy's food. Anyway,
not good for you, Scott.
I know.
But I would do the same damn thing.
Yeah, just get it without cheese and bread, maybe. Boil it down to nothing but meat and a couple of pieces of lettuce, and you're good. Anyway, there's a story that Udonis Haslem has been telling everybody. He's a player, right? I don't know him at all.
I don't know him either.
Yeah. Anyway,
can't say I know a lot of the.
But
you see that's a name that seems like it's an anagram for something else, right?
Yeah, kind of does. Kind of does. Anyway, he once ate this what did I say? 7-course? No, 4-course dinner.
4-course steak dinner.
Right. Right before, minutes before the game started, right before tip-off. And by the way, guess who gets up on the tip-off? He does. He's the tip-off guy.
He's the tip-off guy.
Big fella's got to eat, but holy crap, only Shaq could feel it's appropriate to eat a full-course meal right before a tip-off. He did earn a championship for Miami, so it wouldn't be a stretch to say it was a waste of time. Still, it must not have been a very good game for him. But I don't know, man. He's a huge dude and probably just burned it as he went.
I'm just curious. I mean, number one, I want to know what the 4 courses were. Like, was it a salad, and then like some stuffed mushrooms or something, and then the steak, and then the dessert?
Yeah.
But doing all this at your locker, like a 4-course meal at your locker. All right, I'm ready for the next course. Bring it on.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is if it's truly a course meal that indicates that it came in waves, right? Like it didn't all just show up at once. So it's not takeout. It's like he had somebody come in there.
I mean, I guess it could be. He could have gotten 4 little styrofoam containers with each of the different courses in there.
Yeah, it could have been chocolate ganache. Could have been what do I always like a little sherbet.
The lava cake.
Yeah, lava cake. What do you have what's your death by chocolate look like this time of year?
A creme brulee, please, and
I would die.
Styrofoam ramekin.
Listen, if I went to go play basketball right now and you fed me one of those items, I'd be like, I don't think I can play.
Yeah, 1 course.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
All right, here's another funny one. A man forced to shorten his fence got revenge with naked mannequins.
Because we can build this dream together, standing tall forever, whatever it takes. I'll be there with you. Anyway, nothing's gonna stop us now.
What a classic!
You know what? Not ashamed to say I don't know all the words of that dumb Starship song.
Yeah, I don't either. But I did watch that movie.
We need to film sack.
Oh yeah, dude, totally.
That needs to be film sacked.
I agree. That is some bad old stuff. If you look right here at this photo on the webpage, and I put it up for the chat to see as well. You'll see what this guy did. His name is Jason Windus. He had a 6-foot-tall fence to keep his 2 dogs in the yard. He says, I put this fence together for my dogs so they had a place to run. However, Windus was ordered to cut his $9,000 fence in half after a neighbor filed a complaint with the city, claiming it obstructed the view of oncoming traffic for drivers in the intersection. The city agreed and ordered him to do it. So he did it. And he complied, but then he made his own little revenge. He put out a bunch of naked, full-size mannequin people and just had them sitting around a table, and one of them's like standing up and doing like a little dance.
Right, I love it. It's like the weirdest nativity scene ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look.
I like how the blonde on the left has like a wig rubber banded to her head.
Yeah, and they can't do. I mean, the city can't do anything about this, right? This isn't This is not breaking any rules, is it? Just
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I mean, I guess if they're because they don't have nipples, right? They're just going to be.
They're ground off, I would assume, or they're like any mannequin, I guess. It's just.
Yeah,
although this picture has
just,
decided to censor it all.
Yes, exactly. Which is really funny because it's not like there's anything that can be shown.
That's dumb. I don't know. I don't understand why they're censoring that. That's stupid.
Oh, I love it. Oh, the chat room's seeing it because you put it in the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
My hair has gone whack today. Hold on.
I'm
just gonna mess
hair
with it
is
a little.
whack. It's not on fleek, Scott.
Someone in the chat room said, "What is
It's
up
whack
with this hairdo?"
AF.
It's pretty whack. I need a I need a haircut is what I need. I'll get one before. You know what? I'll just keep being shaggy until the trip, and then I'll shave it or I'll cut it off. Finally, in the news, final story here. Turns out What We Do in the Shadows is good.
Yeah, good.
It's the reviews are in.
That makes me feel good because that was a worry of mine.
Yeah, and reasonably so. Like it's a movie from 2015, written and directed and acted in by everyone's favorite
Jermaine Stewart.
Yeah, plus a Tiki Wakatiti.
Not Jermaine Stewart. Jermaine Clemens.
Yeah,
Jermaine Stewart told us that we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's a throwback.
Right around the time of Mannequin.
Yeah, but this was the movie Wakatiti did. Well, he did one more movie after it, but then he did Thor Ragnarok. So it's kind of a rocketing to success for that guy. But he's like, you know what? I still want to make this TV version of my 2015 hit. And by the way, it's the second best movie of 2015. I don't need to tell you what the first best movie of 2015 is.
If there's a drinking game associated with TMS, then
I guarantee there are a few of them.
Yes, exactly.
But the review I read here on this NPR review was glowing. They're like they pulled it off.
Well, cool.
They say that the series steps confidently out of the long shadow thrown by What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, and burns bright and hot on its own.
Wow.
Which is very exciting, and it's got that IT Crowd guy that was the boss after his dad jumped out the window. I don't know his name.
I don't know.
Did you ever watch the IT Crowd?
I watched one episode of it and I liked it, but I haven't gone back to it. It's on my finish sometime list. But
I have a list like that too. Well, Matt Berry's his name. Yeah, people love him, I guess. So I liked his dad a little better, but he's fine.
Doesn't have anybody else from the movie though in it? Like it doesn't have
no
Bad Meeting. I guess he was a werewolf, not a vampire. There's a whole separate sequel movie planned for that's going to have him.
Yeah, exactly. But so as far as I know, none of the regular cast
isn't in there.
No, he's writing it though, and he's co-producer.
Okay.
So he's all involved. So's Wakatiti. They're all building
dude
it.
From the weird ghoulish looking dude from British Bake Off. Wasn't he in that, or am I just?
No, he's an IT Crowd. He's an IT Crowd.
He's an IT Crowd. Okay, Noel something. Yeah. Noel Fielding.
Yeah, Noel Fielding was the server guy in IT Crowd, and he was ghoulish in it. So
yes, I really like him. I'm not at all saying I don't like the guy because I think he's hilarious, and I've really grown to love him on British Bake Off.
Yeah, he was a good pick.
Yeah,
I was concerned, but
yeah,
he's great.
I was too.
Yeah,
he didn't seem like he was the right fit for the British Bake Off show, but he's done great. And you know what? I think I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I like the Sandy lady too. Her name is Sandy, not.
Yeah, her name is Sandy.
She's not all Sandy.
Keep that Sandy lady away from my Victorian sponge.
There's a good title. Someone submit that one. But at first I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like some rebellious teenager and his aunt hanging out. That's what it looked like to me. But then they totally jived. They're great. It's awesome. I couldn't believe that worked out so well. Oh, there you go, Lesarge. Well done.
Wow, both Jackalope Ashley and Lesarge getting that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see who gets the votes.
And Jackalope Ashley won the tip-off.
Oh yeah, the tip-off.
The tip-off.
Yeah,
right there.
Don't get sick on that 4-course meal you just had. All right.
So that's over on FX, right?
FX is correct.
FX. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Very excited about this mockumentary. If you've never seen What We Do in the Shadows, stop everything, whoever's listening, and do it. Okay? That movie's great. It is more than great. It is utterly wonderful. And one of my favorite things ever. So go watch it. All right. let us take a break. When we come back, Tom Merritt will be here to sum up the day's tech news in Tom's Tech Time, and then recommendals after that with Nicole Spag. All of this is good. All of this will be great, but none of it happens until we play a song. So, Brian, will you do that now?
This is true. By the way, did you realize, and Sam Jane pointed this out, and I had no idea, and I've got to look this up, but Sandy Toksvig, who is the Sandy lady on
yeah,
was a Bond girl.
What?
And I'm trying to look up to see.
Had to be an older Bond girl then. Like
which Bond?
Back in the day, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. That's great. That's pretty cool. She's 90% sure. We have a 10% chance that she's not a Bond girl.
Yes, I'm looking it up. I do not see her listed as a Bond girl. I'm sorry.
Oh.
If you look for Sandy Toksvig in Bond, you do not find anything. So
Octopussy. No? I hated that movie.
Maybe she was a Bondo girl.
She was a Bondo.
Bondo. She did commercials for Bondo, which I've made that mistake myself. Anyway, hey, let's go to India in the Middle, and a band out of Raleigh, North Carolina, that I'm hooked on, and their sound for one of their songs that I was deciding between sounds a lot like early REM, very much like early REM. This one, though, that we're about to play, it is the Counting Crows song that I didn't know I needed, but I do need it, and I love it. This is really good. Their brand new album is called Ordinary Lives. The band is called The Geb, G-E-B, The Geb. 5-piece band based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm totally loving this album, and you're going to love this song. The song is called Beach House. Here is The Geb.
All right, here it is. We'll be right back.
I found a new buttery way to...
Join us for the New England News, coming up at noon on 7.
The Morning Stream. You're not immortal. I know your secrets, Phantom.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back. Time for us to pull one Tom Merritt in here with us.
Cool.
Have a little fun with him.
All right.
Because we
okay.
Because we enjoy it. And here's his
Has
theme.
there been any tech? Has anything really happened in the world of tech?
I'm sure there has. Something.
With a computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
That man is Tom Merritt, and I guarantee he has tech news on his mind today. Hello, Tom, and welcome.
Hello, Brian and Scott.
Hi.
In fact, you are correct. I do.
Oh, good. That's really good. I feel like that's a good sign for anyone who has a daily tech news show like you do. Seems important.
With Apple announcing things on Monday, this generally happens like a tsunami pulling water out of a bay. It pulls a lot of the tech news out for a couple of days. So there aren't a lot of announcements. Huawei made their P30 and P30 Pro phone announcements, but here in the United States we won't be seeing those. They'll be coming to Europe. Yeah. They're already available for order. Nice cameras. Cameras.
Are their phones? I mean, I know we don't see a lot of them here, but are they in Europe, in the European market? Are they doing well over there?
Oh yeah, they're doing very well over there. In fact, that's their big growth market. They're dominating the Chinese and Southeast Asian markets already, and so Europe's kind of their place to grow now.
Yeah. Well, what with that and all the Chinese
and Africa too,
all the fancy Chinese love dramas that are on Netflix, thanks to you letting me know about them.
They're
slowly taking over the world. Yep. Hey,
I'm so excited that you're a bit exposed to that world.
I am too. I feel like a fresh new flower on a spring morning. I'm going to find all kinds of new stuff, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, like a member of the flower realm.
There you go. The flower realm, everyone. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Ashes of Love. Better yet, watch Ashes of Love episode 1, season 1, and then tune in to Current Geek last night where we discuss it at length. All right. Yeah, Apple comes in. They kind of clear the room. That's their deal. You could say Google does that when they do their thing. Everybody's kind of got their big moment. But in the aftermath of all of that, and I know you guys have talked ad nauseum about all the announcements and everything they talked about, do you get the feeling, I mean, Tom, I'll just throw this out here and then you can say I'm crazy or whatever, but do you get the feeling that Apple isn't ready for their TV thing yet. And by that I mean, like, there was a lot of still shots of like people's faces up there, but no content really to show. I mean, on paper it all sounds all right, but it all feels like it's a little undercooked. Or is that just me?
You talk about the still shots of their faces. I mean, they were all there. Like, you know, Steve Carell and Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon were talking. They're talking about their show.
No, I know that, but that's not what I mean. I'm saying there's no show though. That's just them on stage.
Well, there was a sizzle reel at the end that showed that they have in fact shot footage.
Yeah.
With those actors.
I guess that proves it. Sure. But do you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just because they're keeping that closer to the vest in terms of, you know, letting there's not a lot of teasers or other follow-up content the way you would get with maybe a PR blowout for a new movie that's coming from Marvel or something. Like, they just kind of hold back. And to me, I just got the impression that they're just not quite ready for it, but they kind of have to be. I don't know. That's why I look to you to interpret my terrible feelings about this. Why do I feel this way?
Well, I thought it was weird too that you had such a large amount of time devoted to bringing in these big names and putting them up on stage, and then saying, and we'll tell you more in the fall. Come back in the autumn for the actual service. We're not going to tell you how you get it or how much it costs or anything like that. All we wanted to tell you today is look at all the names, and the names are impressive. They, you know, M. Night, JJ, Steven Spielberg, you know, people that you don't even need to say their last names.
Oprah. Yeah.
Exactly. The prototype of someone whose last name you don't have to say. So I think I am trying to figure out why they did this, because they should have. It's not undercooked. It's not like it's not going to be ready. Production works on a schedule that says, okay, we're going to try to be ready by this time, and occasionally we have to shift some dates, right? Movie release dates get moved sometimes because of production, but they come out. And I don't doubt that Apple will have this television, this original television available for us probably in the autumn. Like they say, I don't think they would have said autumn if they didn't think they could deliver on that. How much of it they'll have, all the details, we'll find out in the autumn, I'm sure. But I don't know why they made such a big deal of it now. I mean, the knee-jerk and lazy analysis would be that they're running late and they don't want people to not believe that they have it. But that's not the way Apple works. If people have rumors and Apple isn't ready to announce something, they just won't acknowledge it. Take AirPower, for instance. They announced it once, said it was going to be coming. It hasn't come. They haven't mentioned it since because they're not ready to tell you. So I think from all of that, you can read that there will be a service in autumn. And the reason they made such a big deal about it is because they're trying to impress somebody. And that's where my thoughts are focused. Who were they trying to impress? I don't think it's us. I think it might partly be to get us excited, like, oh wow, look at all these big names making these shows, you know, and get us to anticipate. That might be part of it. But I think more of it may be to try to get their partners on board to say, hey, look at all of the talent we're going to be bringing. A lot of people are going to want to watch this stuff once it's out there. Don't you want to be a part of that service? And that relates to the fact that they only have HBO, Starz, Showtime, CBS All Access, and, you know, a handful of other less popular services available on their channels. They're trying to apply some pressure, I think, to bring Disney Plus, to bring NBC, to maybe even get Hulu to join that channels service where they're doing the billing, they're handling the customer relationship, which is a big thing for these companies to give up.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. Just I guess it's what I'm seeing is it's the Apple approach of holding back where they want to and letting stuff out where they want to, clashing with, not clashing's the wrong word, and I don't mean it to be inciting, but like normally this is a lot of this sort of thing, like somebody announcing a big new service or something. It's just a lot of splash and detail, and I don't know. It was weird. It's just subdued to me. I don't know.
It's not the way they do hardware, right?
No.
If you got an iPad coming out in October, you don't announce it at your March event.
Right.
You wait until October, you know, and they very rarely have done that. AirPower being one of the examples where they have teased something that still hasn't come out.
Still hasn't come out. I thought for sure it's like, all right, well, they're bringing out this new Mini last week and this new refreshed iMac. Surely this is when they're going to say, okay, we finally have the air power.
There were a lot of rumors saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you think what's the deal? Hold up with that. Other people have pads out that charge your compatible
the
devices.
Qi.
Yeah,
I want to say Qi, but it's Qi.
Qi, right?
They want it to be better than those, and is my guess. That's always the way Apple works, and it's not better yet.
Yeah,
that's my guess. Or they can't get the price down, or the supply chain, or something.
I use a little Qi pad. I like it, except my phone gets a little warm. Concerns me now and again. Like maybe it's not, it's third.
Where'd you get that cheap pad?
It's a back alley.
As
in
a
Mexico.
guy, he was parking a truck down on the corner.
Fell off the back of a truck,
I got it from it's actually Anchor, and they're highly regarded.
Anchor.
So it should be
Anchor's
fine.
great.
But for some reason, during the initial charge, it gets warm. Once it's fully charged, there's no warmth. It's fine. So I don't know if I should worry about that.
That just means it's working.
Okay. Is that what it is?
The heat tells you it's.
Yeah, that's what I tell my kids.
That tingling sensation
That
means
tingling
it's working.
sensation you get when you touch it while it's charging.
Yeah.
That just means it's working.
Well, this is all fun stuff. Today, of course, more in the world of tech. This and other things, of course. And it's always exciting.
Can I bust some FUD before I go?
Yeah, bust some FUD.
Ooh, bust some FUD.
Yes, there's some fear, uncertainty, and doubt around the European Copyright Directive passing, which yesterday Patrick Beja and I talked about, and we don't think Articles 11 and 17, used to be 13, are very good, and it'll be interesting to see how they get implemented. But there's a story kicking around that the Copyright Directive would have failed if the Swedish members of the European Parliament had pressed their buttons right, and that's not exactly true. From what I can tell, it was 2 Swedish MEPs, although some reports say it could be 3 or 4, but it kind of doesn't matter. They pressed their button wrong on whether to vote for amendments, not how they voted on the directive as a whole. The directive as a whole passed by 70 votes.
Okay.
So you 3 or 4 people pressing the wrong button wouldn't have changed that. What people are upset about is if they had voted correctly to consider amendments, then it might have been possible to convince people to pass amendments that it would have taken out Articles 11 and 17, nay 13. It's unlikely that would have happened either, especially because the vote on amendments lost by 5 votes, and I can only see 2 for sure that say that they pressed the wrong button. So even if they'd pressed the right button, I don't think the amendments vote would have passed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know it's a wonky way, but it's another example of don't believe the headline. If you see the headline that says, if Swedish MEPs have pressed the right button, the copyright directive would have failed. That isn't exactly true.
Yeah, and that's the narrative right now. It's annoying because that's when I first read it, I was like, wait, are we serious here? This all came down to somebody who pushed the wrong button and they won't let them change their mind. And like it got real convoluted real quick. And then I started reading deeper and checking my more reliable sources. I'm like, oh, well, this isn't that. This whole thing wasn't hanging on a 50-50 vote and one vote was going to change it to the other way. This was just weird. I don't know. Like, it still sucks that you chose the wrong one. But the thing
But also, they do it. You can't change your vote on purpose.
Right.
You have a very short period of time where you can unpress because they don't want people sitting there going, maybe no, maybe yeah. Like, when you're ready to vote, you've decided, you press your button, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And I respect that.
We could do it like track and field. Remember the arcade game Track and Field? You go
right.
Just go back and forth like that. Get your special handmade, your thing you made in shop to do it even quicker.
A little like you just do like a pen on the resting on your finger.
Oh yeah,
we
used to do that all the time. They ended up changing the arcade buttons on those to have a ridge, so you couldn't do it anymore. Anyway, it's fun story there. But so all right, that's. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it seems silly. I don't totally understand the articles themselves and what they mean. Somebody else earlier today was yelling at me in a DM saying, "Can you believe we can't post memes anymore in Europe?"
Well, I mean, we listened to yesterday's Daily Tech News show for a full explanation, but Article 11 has some restrictions on what you can link to news sites without permission, which will affect Google for sure.
Yeah.
And Article 13, which is now Article 17, says that both it is the responsibility of companies to try to stop copyright infringing material from being uploaded to their services, but also they shouldn't stop fair use from being happening on their services. And so this is where the people are like, oh, I won't be able to do memes anymore. And that's not exactly true. Plus, the complicated fact that every country can implement this a little differently, and we don't know how they're going to implement it, and it's all going to get decided in the courts.
Yeah, it's going to get weird. We can't have separate internets everywhere. Well, China and Russia say you can, but I'm saying we can't. Listen, let's all have one big internet, you dummies. You can't have Google just for Europe. That sucks. All right. Now I'm getting all riled up about a thing I barely understand.
Get off my internet lawn.
All right. Zoe brings bacon in the chat, says, I hope bacon memes are exempt. Absolutely, Zoe. You're going to be fine.
Always.
All bacon memes.
Exempt.
Yeah, in perpetuity. You can make
it. Well, yeah, then there's the whole question of whether the UK will even be part of the European Union by the time this gets enacted, which, probably won't, but who knows?
Good point. They can have their own internet rules. That'd be great. Tom Merritt, everybody.
Brexernet.
Brexernet. There you go. Oh, I love it. BrexitNet.
BrexitNet.
BrexitNet's a great name for an internet, the closed system for your new...
Kind of is, yeah.
BrexitNet. Finally, I like that name. All right, Tom Merritt, everybody, Ace Detect on Twitter. And today there will be a Daily Tech News show. I'm on it because it's Wednesday. I always like being on there. It's going to be great. So tune in and check that out. That'll be at 2:30 Mountain Time today. Tom, anything else brewing these days you'd like to mention?
Yeah, free Tom newsletter. If you want to get me out of prison, no. It's a free newsletter. freetomnewsletter.com. Every week I kind of summarize all the cool shows and stuff and things I've written and everything. So if you want to keep up on that, check it out.
Free Tom, everybody, get him out. Right. He's been there too long. All right, I'll be. We'll look forward to seeing you later. Have a fantastic day.
Bye.
See you, Tom.
Bye now. You know what Tom always does? He always sends me congratulations texts when I do when I hit my rings on my watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he always because he never doesn't. He always hits it. And there are days I just don't. So
show off.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Bastard. Okay.
So before we pull Nicole in, she's running a little bit late. Maybe we do one of these emails beforehand?
Yeah.
For Nicole?
I like it. That's a great idea. How about this one? Sincerely, Bill wrote in.
His name is Sincerely Bill.
That's a great name. Laudier in the chat and Tadpole when he's around says this: Scott and Brian, I've been listening to you guys for the last several years and love all the various and sundry Frog Pants family. I, however, now need to question Brian's sense of taste.
Oh, jeez.
My wife and daughter are both diabetic, and we have to do a lot of substituting to avoid excess carbohydrates, and we have tried every form of low-carb/no carb bread, pizza crust, tortilla, and flatbread on the market. Cauliflower crust for pizza is perhaps one of the worst substitutes we have ever had the misfortune to attempt. Brian, I love you, bro, and was proud to be a part of the Hadding system. What? Hadding the system. Oh, yeah. But but you need your palate and taste buds checked. Sincerely, Bill. And then he says at the bottom, Snow no mo, bro. Snow no mo, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I'm not going to try and defend cauliflower pizza crust because compared to regular pizza crust, it's not nearly as good. No, you'll get no argument from me. However, there are so many different brands and places you can try it. I had the one we have a pizza chain here in Denver called Bojo's Pizza. Yeah. And they're known for these ginormous mountain pies where the crust is a couple inches thick or a few inches thick, and it's like this mountain of cheese and toppings and stuff like that.
That sounds good. Sounds really good.
Yeah, and that's really good. But they do a cauliflower pizza crust, and it's horrendous. It's not good. Now, the one I've gotten in the store that I'm trying to find the name of it, is it I want to say we picked it up at Sprouts. Cauliflower, not Trader Joe's cauliflower pizza crust, but there is one
Sprouts. I've seen stuff at Sprouts. Maybe maybe I know what kind you're talking about.
I'm trying to. I can't remember. It's got some kooky pun name, and
my favorite.
I can't remember what it's called, but that one was really good, and it tasted. It's basically like a Bobli, where you basically do. You take the crust out of the freezer, you put your toppings on it, you bake it. You don't even have to thaw it. You just bake it, and it's great. And it is very. It's a very bread-like crust. Right. So I'd say before you dismiss all of them, maybe try a second variety. I hear the Oprah one is horrible. The one that Oprah has her name on.
Oh, she has her name on one?
She has her name on there's an Oprah cauliflower crust pizza.
Flour crust, pizza crust. Let's see. I want to see this. Oh, yeah. Oprah's frozen pizza with 1/3 cauliflower crust. Also, it's just partly cauliflower.
Yeah, and it's also just partly Oprah.
I didn't know. In every pizza, there's a car key. So what's the... I didn't know she had Oprah food. This is all news to me.
Yeah.
Oprah, that's good. Everything's better when you share it, says Oprah.
Right. The product family is called Oh, That's Good because of her O. Oh, that's good.
Oh, okay. Introducing the comfort foods I love with a nutritious twist, says Oprah. And there she is doing her thing. Not since the color purple have I enjoyed this pizza. No, she didn't say that.
You get a 20-minute stay on the toilet. You get a 20-minute stay on the toilet.
Oh, they have 3 categories: pizzas, soups, and sides.
Anyway, I've never had the Oprah one, but I just hear that it's not as good. The one, and I wish I could remember the name of the one that Tina bought, but it was really good.
Yeah.
And it had came with 2 crusts in the package, frozen cauliflower crust pizzas, or just crust, and then you added your own toppings. And maybe that's another thing, Bill, sincerely, Bill, I don't know what you tried or where you tried it, but I'd say try a couple other varieties if you want to continue down that road. And because I'd say not all cauliflower crust pizzas are created equal.
You should start making our own branded food, TMS branded, whatever. Let's do it. Anyone out there do that? You just package
That's
some
all you
other
have to do. Yeah,
thing.
exactly. TMS branded.
I don't even care if it's
beer,
good.
wine.
It could be garbage, whatever. Beer. Are we a beer? Like an official show beer would be cool.
Well, we need to talk to Gwen up in Montana and maybe have a TMS branded tea.
Yeah, we could totally do that. We're doing it for tea.
Yeah, although there would be Dungeons tea, so why not?
That packaging even says there will be Dungeons on it.
Right, exactly. Maniacal Industries makes beer. I know Tony Sandoval in Vegas just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Tony Sandoval. He makes beer.
Yeah.
I think he's on your Overpants team.
Is Tony on there? I didn't know that.
I think so.
He wasn't there last year, but he's there this year, yeah?
He's going to be there this year. Yeah,
Okay.
his work schedule just did not coincide with being able to come out to any of the TMS Vegas festivities.
Well, Maniacal Industries, happy to make a batch for the pool. Dude, we'll have to talk.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that. I don't even drink beer.
It'll be like a TMS branded beer that Scott can't drink.
Yeah, that I don't even drink. But I'd happily hawk it. No problem.
Yeah. Would you even take a sip just to say this is TMS beer? And
I'd probably sip it.
Does that just bust the cherry too much?
No, I think if I sipped it, got a taste, because otherwise, I could give you lots of examples where I had a can of peaches that had gone fermented, and I tasted them and went, "Oh shoot, these are fermented."
Right. I mean, I'm sure Kim has cooked with cooking wine or cooking sherry or
beer.
Like
she makes beer battered potato something things she always makes. They're fantastic.
Sure. And of course you cook out most of the alcohol, but still.
Or all of it, as far as I know. But I would totally taste this beer. Okay. Yes, I would taste this beer. I just wouldn't drink an entire beer because that would break my record.
Yes.
Can't break that record.
Explosive tip beer.
Yeah, dude, the explosive tip. That's not going to sell well, though.
No, it really won't. Yeah.
No, it sounds bad. All right, Nicole
fart
is ready.
Gas.
Yeah, fart gas is the worst idea for a beer. Oh my gosh! All right, Nicole Spagnoli Hole is on her way. We're gonna bring her in, and we're gonna set all of it right.
That's right.
Let's see here. We got this to play. Hey everybody, check it out. It's Nicole Spagnolo all the way from Colorado. Hello.
Yay!
Yay!
The way that the Discord, I'm right next to Brian. I'm like, poke, Brian.
Oh.
It's adorable. Hey,
did you make your hand come in like it's my hand there? Oh, look at that!
Chat room can't see it because I don't have you guys laid out that way.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I have you captured individually, so you're all ski-wampus. Anyway, hey, it's Nicole, and we're here, and we're doing it. We got recommendals to do. We talk about stuff we've seen on streaming services, and we recommend them to you, the listener. And we have a grand tradition, which is Brian starts first. So let's not break that tradition. Brian, let's start with you.
This one's a tiny bit longer. Trying to not give Jamie any material here. This recording has a few more seconds on it than the usual recording I send you, but I felt like I couldn't trim it down any further. So,
all right, nice.
This is a series that is on streaming.
Okay, and we'll find out what after this. Let's play it. Here you go.
So for a while, the diner was running this Italian sub deal. Salami with peppers and onions and special sauce. To save money, Tony orders a 55-gallon barrel. We kept it in the basement. The heat would cause the oils to separate. We'd use this wood canoe paddle to stir it back together. Eventually, the paddle breaks. You know cheap-ass Tony. He's not gonna buy a new paddle.
Wasn't there a ladle you could use or something? Broom, even?
Just my arm. I had the longest. So, every day, whirling in these sauce oils like a conductor for the New York film. One morning, I get a paper cut opening the mail. Whatever, I go about my day. I'm elbow deep in sauce, and when I pull out my arm, my Band-Aid's gone.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's like a toothpick. It's like a toothpick in the.
Like a toothpick.
Like, I feel like there's even more, like, I got an infection and I lost my hand.
Right,
like,
no, it's just the fact that the Band-Aid's gone.
Well, it's great. It's more like that peanut that went in the tomato sauce Kim made. Very similar.
That made my stomach turn.
Any idea what show that is?
She sounds very familiar. Her voice.
It's not a documentary show. It's
no,
just
no,
okay,
not at all. And that's just a story that's like not even ancillary to the story of the show. It's just one of the characters tells this story from when they were kids.
I know her voice. It's going to drive me crazy that I know her voice so well and I can't place it.
You do. It's the voice is Retta. She was on Parks and Recreation.
Oh, that's who it is.
Is this Bad Girls or something like that?
It's something like that. It's Good Girls. Yes, a TV show that stars Christina Hendricks, Retta, and Mae Whitman as three sisters and friends who decide to rob a bank. And this was recommended by a couple listeners. Tina and I decided even before that we were going to check it out, and we just got so hooked on it. It is so good, and it's kind of Breaking Bad meets Desperate Housewives. That good first season of Desperate Housewives.
Yeah. Oh, that was like a first season.
Yeah, not what that thing evolved into, but there is a very like Breaking Bad type of thing where you solve one problem and that solution causes a couple more problems that you weren't expecting, and so you have to do something even worse to solve that problem, and then you kind of get your did I say a bank? I'm sorry. Yeah, they rob a grocery store. I don't know why I said
there is a movie out there.
It is with it's just
Katie
came out.
Holmes.
Yes.
It was out a long time ago, wasn't it?
Oh, then I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking one that was out
where they're
housekeepers
and they're good. They're good
Oh,
girls.
that is a long time ago. But Brian, what Brian's thinking of was like last year, and it was a very similar thing, except I think it was banks.
Yes,
but I don't remember who was in it.
They all kind of merged together in my mind.
A little bit,
really.
yeah.
This one's also got Matthew Lillard. Shaggy. He's great. He was great. He plays a very similar character to the one he played in the Twin Peaks season.
Does he? Oh.
Yes. Allison Tolman, who we really like from Fargo. It's a really, really good cast, and it's a show that's going to hook you in from the very first one. They just started their second season, and Widows. That's the one Rusty Nails, the recent one that's got.
Widows, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yep. That was made by somebody who's like a big deal director.
Yes. Yes, and I can't remember who it is.
It's maybe the dude who just did. Oh, it's gonna bug me. All right, gotta find it.
It's Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, that's right. He hasn't done stuff for a while, and everyone was shocked he was doing a heist movie, and that it's way more.
Right after 12 Years a Slave, and now he's doing
exactly. Not Steve McQueen from
anyway.
Bullet. Anyway, yeah.
So Good Girls, it's streaming. The first season's on Netflix. You can watch it there. The second season started up, so I'm just started up on NBC. So I'm guessing you probably can watch that on,
it's an NBC
Hulu.
show.
It's an NBC show, so it's a network show, and it's
Interesting.
it's really, really good.
I'm impressed. I usually don't like network shows for lots of reasons. I usually hold back, or it's too watered down, or whatever. But your description has me excited. I want to see it.
This one's good. And Mae Whitman, you know, from stuff like Parenthood, and she was the female Evil X in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's man. I've been seeing a lot of people lately from Scott Pilgrim alumni. Isn't that weird? I don't know why. You just brought up another one.
Oh, and Arrested Development, yes.
Yeah.
Why her? A couple of people have been asking her, ? Like,
you mean
Kelly
the movie
Zarell, Lesarge, Wanabos all said her?
It's a her. Or maybe they mean the movie Her. Is that what they're saying?
Maybe, I don't know, but it's funny that all three of them asked the like HER ? Like that's like there's some connection there.
Oh, is she trans or something? Maybe that's it.
Somebody said it's an Arrested Development joke.
Oh,
I don't know.
It
is an Arrested. Oh, it is Arrested Development joke. Okay.
Oh, well, it came from everybody who's usually correcting me on trans issues. And so it must have been. I mean, what else am I supposed to think? Normally, when you guys start shooting off stuff about gender thing, it's because I screwed something up. So
right, I know exactly. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, fair enough.
She's 30 and she looks like she's always going to be able to play an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Lucky her, man. Her and
I know
Paul
exactly
Rudd.
who you're talking about too.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. That sounds good. I want to watch it. I saw previews for it and I got excited, and then I forgot that it was a thing, and now I'll have to check it out.
And Christina Hendricks is great in it. Retta is great in it.
My wife. Oh, this is funny. My wife did watch or started the episode or one episode of it, and here's how I know. I hear this in the other room. It's getting late. She's just chilling in front of the TV, and I hear her go, "Whoa!" And I went, "Was everything okay?" And she goes, "There's no way her boobs are real."
Oh, yeah.
She's talking about Christina Hendricks.
Christina Hendricks. Yeah.
And I said, "Well, honey, they were that big on Mad Men. They're always that's her thing. She's known for. She's like a throwback
Firefly.
to the buxom 30s. You know, it's
hourglass figure and stuff.
Yeah, I go, that's her whole thing. She goes, I know, but they're really distracting. I'm like, all right, I agree. They're kind of distracting. Yeah. Different reasons for me. Anyway, whatever. It's a bountiful harvest over there on her chest. Let's get now moving to my pick for the week, which is I didn't prepare it in a file form, so I'm actually going to have to play this from a video. But you guys may guess it. I'm not sure. This is a movie from 2018. It's streaming on Amazon Prime. It's a movie I wanted to see real bad and didn't in theaters. And then I finally saw it on Prime and went, oh, got to get it. And so I watched it, and I loved it. So here's the clip.
Can you describe its form?
No.
Start from the beginning.
What do you think I do when you're away? You think I'm out in the garden pining, looking up at the sky?
Okay, you know what this is? Did you
I
already
recommend this? Natalie Portman.
Did you already do a recommendal for
Annihilation? Yeah.
Annihilation.
Yeah.
Why do I not remember you doing that? Okay, well,
that's all right.
Maybe
we don't listen to each other. We just kind of are in our own heads. You know, our own TMS is running in our heads.
I guess
we don't listen to anybody else.
I could have sworn I hadn't heard this on here, but I love this movie. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's not the most complicated plot of all time. You kind of know where things are going, but it is like Arrival and some other recent sort of science fiction stuff that's hit theaters. It has a incredibly cool vibe and look, and it's beautifully shot, and it is, oh man, that movie's cool. I really liked it a lot. I thought all of especially the female leads were really good in this. You can't not like Oscar Isaac. Even though
he's great.
He's not even hardly in it. I wish they would have
chosen a different title though, because it's such an unmemorable title. Even though I'd seen it a couple months ago, and I knew from the audio, it was like, oh that's something. And, the problem is that so many other movies use that as their sequel, like it's something to Annihilation.
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're right. Isn't there? It's based on a book, and I don't know what the name of that is. So maybe let's see.
Somebody I think is saying it's Annihilation in the.
It is called that, the novel.
Yeah.
The Southern Reach trilogy. So that's actually 3 books. Anyway, I hear those books are a trip, like just crazy, and the movie did a pretty good job in my mind, if it really was that crazy, to kind of make it make sense or whatever. But here we got Tessa Thompson again. Had quite a Marvel crossover, because you have both Thor's buddy and Thor's girlfriend at least from the first and second films,
right?
In here. Plus, you had Oscar Isaac, who is something. What is he? Oh no, he's just Star Wars. Does he not have an MCU thing yet? He should. Feels like he ought to be in there. You know who I always think of? I think of Winter Soldier. I think of Bucky.
Oh yeah, Sebastian Stan.
Those guys look a lot alike, so they always that always confuses me. Anyway, X-Men. He's an X-Men.
X-Men. He's in the Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse.
That's right.
He is Apocalypse.
He's Apocalypse himself. Exactly.
Yes.
So Marvel ties, not MCU necessarily, but anyway, I just loved it, and I love this kind of stuff, and I like that it's a little obtuse and weird. Shout out goes to Benedict Wong, who is barely in this and only acts as an interrogator in a hazmat suit for bits and pieces of the narrative. But man, Benedict Wong makes everything better he's ever in always. I love that guy. Do you need a little bit thick Asian dude someplace in your movie? I've got your guy. His name is Benedict Wong. Oh yeah, and then Benedict Wong's in the MCU. He's the other guy.
Yeah, he's Doctor Strange's
buddy there.
Buddy.
He's so good. I want more movies with him. He was great in The Martian. He was great in this. He's great in everything. So anyway, I liked it, and here we are double recommending something because I forgot you did it.
That's all right. That's quite all right.
Amazon
In a couple
Prime.
months, you'll recommend Good Girls. It's fine. We see the cycle.
Yeah, we know how this is going to go. All right, Nicole Spag, you have brought something. What do you have?
I have brought something, and I'm going to tell you a little story. So, Brian, your podcast, America's Next Top Podcaster, has inspired me to tell a story about a little Nicole. She was I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
Wow.
And something happened to me in like 4th grade, 4th grade, that has stuck with me for the rest of my life. And what I'm going to recommend kind of ties into this. I've never told the story, so I'm kind of nervous.
Okay. All right.
You don't want any music or anything, right? You don't want me to pad this?
No. So, if you see me, if you've ever seen my body, I always have it in my head that I'm fat. It's stuck in my head. It's always been stuck in my head.
Yeah.
People will see me and go, she's not fat. But then there are other people, she's definitely, So it didn't help this morning that a little girl came up to my belly and go, baby? And I'm like,
no.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
No.
I'm like, no, just, I like donuts.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I saw a photo that Mark posted of you enjoying a donut this weekend.
Yeah.
So, the inner voice in my head is always telling me I'm big, I'm fat, and trying to shrink. So in 3rd grade, a little boy liked me, and it was the first time a little boy had liked me, and his brother told him that he should like me because I had a big butt.
Oh man.
So while that's funny, that has stuck with me my entire life. I'm 42, okay? And this is a narrative that constantly runs in my head.
Yeah.
So for women, it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard with the weight. So when you guys were talking about the boobs, I have a friend who had breast reduction surgery because her boobs were so big and she had a lot of back problems. So we have like all these things that go in our head.
Right.
So while I see perfect women in magazines and we see perfect women, and it's a lot for little girls. So I'm raising a little girl and I'm trying to keep her positive body image, but the fact of the matter remains I'm not in control of that. It could be a little boy that says she has a big butt. Right. That sticks with her for the rest of her life. My parents couldn't do anything to stop that from happening. So I have to just keep a positive role model. And so when I see shows like this come out, I'm very happy. So I'm going to play the trailer because I think you can hear my audio now.
Okay.
So,
let's see. I got my lotion and my gum and my shoelaces for my brown shoes. And could I also get the morning after pill?
Hey, Nick, do we sell the morning after pill?
Oh, that's okay. We don't need to bother Nick. He's doing pill business.
Oh, really?
I know I'm just assistant calendar editor, but I would really love to write more. And but I think
you millennial dumpling, work hard and pay your dues.
so. That's a maybe then, right?
Are you liking the thin menu?
It's fine.
Well, are you doing the almonds between meals?
Yeah, they're so satisfying. Sometimes when I have 6 almonds, I feel like I had 12 almonds.
Hey, my roommates are here. You're cool with going out the back again, right?
If I could just give you a quick pitch. I heard about this pool party, and it's all about people feeling comfortable in their own skin.
The last thing we need is everybody feeling comfortable in their own skin. That would be the 70s.
I just would love to start some up.
Annie, please go away.
Leaving haters in the dust. They wish they had better luck.
This may be the best day of my life.
So there you go.
I have no idea what this is.
That's Shrill. That's A.D. Bryant.
That is A.D. Bryant from SNL, who I absolutely love. She's just, I love her. And after seeing her in the show Shrill, I love her even more. It's not for kids, guys. It's definitely this. You know, I was very thankful that I pre-watched this trailer. Like, yes, they took out the cuss words.
Yeah. So is it? It's where is this? Netflix is where I think I've seen
this is
previews. Hulu. That's where I saw it.
Hulu. Okay. So this is I think it's like 8 episodes right now. But I loved it. And she works at a magazine, and her boss is from one of my favorite movies, the Hedwig and the Angry Inch movie.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah.
So that's her boss, and he's running this magazine. Well, it's not is it a magazine? No, it's all online, so it's an online magazine. But I think it's in like the Seattle area.
Is it a
it
blog?
Just follows her.
It's a blog.
What's that?
Is it a blog? I don't know.
Hey, that's short for weblog.
Yeah.
Well, one of the stories that you get into is her character Amy once. It's so funny because I know her name's it's Annie. I've always thought her name was Amy, but it's Addie. I must have thought her as Amy for the longest time, and then I realized it was Addie.
It's
A-I-D-Y. Yeah,
AD, yes. Which sounds, if you're not listening closely, it could easily sound like Amy, so makes sense.
Yeah, so she actually does become a writer for this magazine, and she has a troll that just spews horrible things to her. But I love her character, and I love her perseverance, and all of her friends, and there's like quirks, and I love it. It's a great show. So
I liked her a lot in The Big Sick. I feel like on Saturday Night Live they don't give her much beyond, hey, play a crazy Southern lady, play an awkward and crazy Southern lady, for when it's not a skit that's written by her. And so I'm interested in this for sure.
It's a fun show. And it like I said, it gives a perspective of a not perfect sized woman coming to terms with how she, and later on in the clip, she's like, I'm tired of like apologizing for my being, and how I'm just so dismissed and everything. So it was great.
Good.
It's a great show.
I like that kind of stuff. Someone who also had the challenge of when he would raise his daughters and they would come home crying from school because somebody said something mean about them physically. I totally know the
jerks,
the pain.
Yeah.
And I know enough, guys deal with it a little bit, but we don't have the expectations on us.
You get it with the height. Like, height is a big thing.
Height's a big thing for men. How you're built. Like, I got teased constantly because I was so skinny when I was little. I mean, I was skinny, like super bony skinny. And it was just my metabolism. I couldn't do anything about it. I ate like a pig, but it didn't matter. I was just so skinny, and I was all kind of caved in, and I took all kinds of heat for that. But then I got tall, and then I broadened out a little bit, and then everyone shut up. And it still is there, though, right? Like, still that thing of like, and now I look in the mirror and go, freaking opposite problems now, like, it's just I wish I could go back to my super skinny, but it's harder. I think it's harder for girls because society itself has placed this expectation on women and girls that is not fair. It isn't fair.
Yeah. And I almost feel like it's even worse because now we have social media with Instagram, and you have I saw Khloe Kardashian posing and all skinny, and she's like hawking a stupid, laxative drink. And she has like young girls following her thinking, well, that's how I'm going to get thin.
Yeah.
And somebody called her out and said, you need to also disclose you have a personal trainer, you have a personal cook, you have like all these things
all this stuff
at your disposal 24/7 that the rest of the world doesn't have.
Yeah.
And you're hawking this stupid drink.
Yeah.
So transparency, like this, the age of the influencer, mark my words, it will eventually, like the government will get involved. And like right now it's like #ad, but it's like, no, you need to be more just transparent.
Yeah.
With that crap.
Also, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You were going to say.
No, I'm on a roll.
It's all right. It annoys me too. I don't like it.
Yeah,
also, was a documentary or something recently where they showed how like a lot of influencers, their Instagram posts that are always some sexy pouty face or whatever looks like some rando shot that we all just assume they're just going, oh, here I am out today, I'll just take a quick picture and put it on my feed. But really, there's lighting. They've got people around there checking lighting meters.
I follow a dog Instagram account that I'm like, this dog has the best lighting ever.
Yeah, because it's all fake. It's all horse shit is why. It's all garbage. Everything's fake.
Exactly.
Be who you are. You know what? I'm going to go look in the mirror today and just go, yeah, dude. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Well, these are
And
all.
so, I mean, it's shows like this that help. I mean, yes, you want to be healthy, but you know what? I'm also a realist. I want a donut.
Right.
I want to experience things. So I'm not going to just focus in on, I need to have the right priorities, and my weight right now is not number one priority. It's up there. Like I'm very conscious of what I eat and what I put in my body and my exercise, because I want to be around for my kids.
Right.
But it's just hard sometimes to fight that voice.
Right.
So when I have shows like this, it's a little empowering.
Well, I'm glad.
80 is awesome.
I'm very glad that is that kind of show, and I will now watch it because I like that sort of thing as well. Plus, it sounds funny, and funny is good.
It is funny. It's very funny.
Funny is always good. All right. Well, excellent deal. We're gonna do this again next week. We'll have more.
We will.
And if you want to follow the stuff we did today, Nicole puts it all up on her Twitter feed at Nicole Spag, so you can follow that as soon as we're done here. And may we all.
Hey, where's Annihilation streaming?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Okay.
Yep. And I'm now going to go get a donut because you've made me hungry for a donut.
That does sound so good.
Have a good day, Nicole. We'll see you later.
Oh.
Bye.
Oh, Lamar's donuts. Yeah.
Is Lamar's good? We
Lamar's
don't
great.
have them. I want them.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is, and I want it bad. All right. There's that.
Cool.
Well done, everybody. Quick email to take us out, and then we're done. These emails, by the way, come to us at themorningstream@gmail.com. You're encouraged to do that, or leave us voicemails. 801. I haven't checked them in a couple days, so probably have some sitting there. But 801-471-0462. That's 801 is 10 hams.
Easy to remember that way.
Yeah. Theoretically. Anyway, Bex wrote in, says, "Morning, Scott and Brian. I wanted to share my daughter's review of TMS with you." This is pretty great.
Okay.
"I often complain to my 10-year-old when she is watching the various YouTube channels that she watches. I describe them as kids talking about mindless rubbish. Her argument is that they are things that she is interested in. The other day, the tables turned. In the car, I had TMS playing. My daughter asked, 'What is this?' I explained that it was a podcast, and basically it was people talking about things that interest me. Quick as a flash, she replied, quote, like my YouTube channels. Touché, daughter, touché. She listened for a while, then said, so basically they are old men who should know better talking about poo, wee, and willies.
Wee and willies. Poo, wee, and willies. Yeah, kind of true. Yeah. All right.
He says, I find this very amusing and accurate, apart from the old part, and was thoroughly put in my place for mocking what she likes to watch / listen to. Sincerely, Bex. 100% accurate.
Yeah, I kind of missed the nickname for penises, willies. Oh,
yeah,
willies.
Willies. It's a very British email in general here.
Yeah.
Rubbish. Yeah. Willies. We and
rubbish.
Yeah, we instead of P. This is great.
Yes.
We don't. I mean, look. I like a good poop joke as much as the next guy. It's not like it's
No, you like it way more than the next guy.
It's not like it's 90 plus minutes of that. I mean, come on.
Right.
But anyway, your daughter's right, and she should like what she likes, and you should like what you like, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle.
And thank you, Bex, for playing this for your daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, and play this email for her and tell her we like her. I think she's cool.
Yes,
exactly. Didn't say how old. Only did 10 years old. Man, 10-year-olds.
10 years old.
Don't mess with 10-year-olds. They are smart and rad.
Yep.
I like it when 10-year-olds speak their mind. All right, that's going to do it for the show. themorningstream@gmail.com is that email address again. And 801-471-0462 is the phone number to leave voicemails. Also, check us out at frogpants.com/TMS. And while you're on the internet, because I'm giving you all these addresses, how about throw a little support our way at patreon.com/TMS. That's patreon.com/TMS. We'd love it. And could use your help. So go give it a look.
Yeah.
Brian?
Just a buck.
I think that's
Just a
it.
couple bucks.
Yeah, a buck, $2, $3, $1, a buck a month. I mean, I don't even want to do the hour breakdown of how dumb our decision was to make it a monthly thing, but take advantage of us. Come in here and go, here's a buck. It's totally fine. All right.
Speaking of shows, No Coverville today. A big project going on for me, both with America's Next Top Podcaster and with a client. And Tristan is moving back into the house today, so I've got to help him get a dresser, a desk, and a bed back into the house. Just temporarily. Just temporarily is what I have to keep telling myself. Just temporary.
Yeah, it's just temporary, Brian. Grit your teeth. It'll be fine.
I know, exactly. So, anyway, let's get to our last song.
All right.
This is a request that came in from Paul, who goes by the name Mush Potatoes in the chat room. Hey, Scott and Brian, I've been on the struggle bus lately with a 6-month-old that likes to party all night and a 2-year-old that is frustrated that his parents have no energy. If you could please play a cover of or by my favorite band, Coheed and Cambria, it would help give me an extra boost to keep on keeping on. Thanks, signed Paul. So, absolutely, Paul, and Ham and I did a great episode of Soundography all about Coheed and Cambria. I'd known about Welcome Home, and that was the only thing that I'd known by those guys. And in the process of doing that show, of course, I'm a big fan of their cover of The Trooper, which I've played on the show before, by Iron Maiden. But we're going to play something different by them. This is a track that they released back in 2015. It's a cover of Adele, of all people.
Whoa.
Here is Coheed and Cambria covering Adele with Hello, It's Me. It's me.
All right, fantastic. Let's play it. We'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday edition of the show. We'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I is what I is.
She is what she is.
That's all what I is.
Right. We did it.
Yes.
We did it.